screen? Very good.
Yes, you can record. It's also recording now. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you very much. Just give me a second here. Well, good morning, everybody. This is Fausto Pulpo, Senior Educational Consultant from Blackboard. And today we're going to focus on the main differences between Learn Ultra and Learn Original. Please, if you have any questions at any time, I'll be more than happy to answer them. You can use a chat, or if you prefer, raise your hand and then unmute your microphone. Okay? All right. So this is your typical Learn Original course. This is a course homepage. And in order to access the course content, the usual approach is to create a series of links that in turn lead to one or more folders, and that's basically how content is organized. Content is not created necessarily directly, onto any specific into like just one place, but you can create assessment instruments, communication activities, etc., and then link them to the course menu, which of course you can customize. Okay, in this case, you have the usual course menu, and then these are some content areas that have been created. And as you can see, you have August modules, and you have Get Started Here, Module 1, Module 2. This is a course, a sample course about ancient Egypt. Then you have the September modules, and then if you click on one of them, you get to the actual content, okay? In Ultra, we have a very different approach. Every element within your course is created directly on the course content page. And your primary container is called a learning module, okay? So as you can see, here you create a learning module, and within the learning module, you have the different objects, the different artifacts. In Original, if we go to August modules, these are items. Well, that's what they are called. And if you click on one, like Get Started Here, then you get to different elements. Here you have a description, an introduction, contact information, course description, a link. You can tell it's a link because of the icon here, to textbook requirements, course content, and so forth. In Ultra, okay, the equivalent would be, instead of a content area, you create a learning module. And then within the learning module, you create Ultra documents, which is what this element is called. Now, when you look at an Ultra document, you will notice a few things. No, it's very easy to edit. Basically, all you need to do is click on Edit Content. And you have all the options. And also, okay, you have a permanent information about the accessibility of your content. If anything has an accessibility score of less than 100%, then you can click here and it'll tell you what you need to do in order to get it to 100%. And quite often, okay, it will allow you to solve the issue directly from within. Here it's 100%, so there are no issues, as you can see. Perfect accessibility. Now, another main difference is that everything in Ultra is mobile friendly. everything is responsive. So everything will be functional and fully accessible and easy to read. Even, okay, if you are using a cell phone, a tablet, a laptop, or a computer with a bigger screen. So let me simulate what this will look like if you were to access this content from a device with a smaller uh, screen. So I'm going to use a zoom here to simulate that. And as you can see, okay, unlike original and other platforms in which you would have to scroll sideways, not just up and down, here everything will adapt automatically to the screen size. If we leave this section and we go to the main course menu, okay, everything will adapt to whatever screen size your device has. And okay, everything will be functional. All the options will be available as well. So if you want to work on your course or grade your students' work or create some element, you can do that as well. Please remember, if you have any questions at any time, just let me know, okay? And if I get carried away and don't notice whatever you put on the chat, just interrupt me, please, and let me know. In original, however, okay, the experience is different because, okay, most or some elements will adapt, but then navigation becomes a lot more complex, let's say, and less intuitive. In original, if you want to see what's going on with your course, okay, let me zoom out a little bit more. Here, sorry. Now, if you want to go back to show the course menu, it is right here. And if you want to know what's going on, okay, anything that needs your attention, etc., well, you can go to the course homepage. And here you have your announcements, your tasks, what's new, what needs attention, things you have to, okay, things that need some sort of action from you, and alerts. In Ultra, notifications are a lot user-friendlier. Basically, if there are any new announcements, you will see a number right next to the announcements link. Here, okay, you can see that there are 3 new announcements. New messages, right here. If there were anything new in the gradebook, anything that needs your attention in the gradebook, then if you see a number here, let's simulate something, okay? Let's create very quickly create, not even create, let me look for, okay, let me look for an assignment. Here I have a sample assignment. Now in Ultra, whenever you want to edit anything, you want to look for the pencil icon. So here, if you want to change instructions, click on the pencil and you have access to the full content editor. You have your text style options, font size, font color, and other elements. In Ultra, also, whenever you see 3 dots and ellipses, it means that if you click there, it'll show you whatever options are available for that element. So if I click here, for instance, I have options like strike through, superscript, subscript, etc. Also, okay, information is always available because as you can see, there is one new submission that needs your attention. So on the same page, you have settings on the right, content on the left, but then you also have information about submissions. If you see this number 1, okay, something needs your attention. Let's change the settings here, and I will simulate a submission for you to notice. And then you also get information about student activity. It will always show you a summary or an overview of the whole class at the top, and then details on individual students as well. As you can see here, the curves, you have one student who got in the 81 to 90 bracket, and well, you have two students who received 0 on this assignment. So if you want to access something, simply click on it. If you want to edit something, simply click on the pencil icon. If you want to see what options are available for any element, simply click on the ellipsis or 3 dots. Here we have a sample discussion. If I click here, I can follow it, so I receive notifications. I can edit it, which will take me to the edit view. I can also check out the student activity. Okay, and that works, that applies to everything in your course. So let's go again to our sample assignment. Remember, if you want to see what settings, or you want to change the settings of anything in your course, just look for the little gear icon, usually found on the right towards the top. So let's change the due date here to this coming Friday by the end of the day. As you can see, all instructions are very user-friendly. Things are usually just 1 or 2 clicks away. And here you have all the different options, like prohibit late submissions, prohibit new attempts after the due date. I'll talk about class conversations in a moment, because that's also an ultra feature, which can be very useful. Allowed format for online submissions, okay, whether they are expected to upload a file, submit a file as an attachment, or simply write or copy and paste text directly. Here, both options are available. What the submission method is, in this case, online, which means it will be submitted through the platform, through Learn. Offline would mean that you're going to be creating the column in the gradebook, but okay, students will be submitting through a different means. This could apply to a presentation, for instance. So having changed the due date, okay, and then if you have any questions about the different options here, just please let me know. Let me check to see. Okay, nothing on the chat. Very good. So I'll save this. Okay. Now let me, sample assignment is visible to students. Week 1, this learning module has certain release conditions. Okay. Here it has to do with getting a certain score on a test, okay, in order to access this content. But I'm going to clear those. I'll just make it visible to students, so I can simulate the submission and show you the workflow there. So I'll go in as a student. The student preview is right up here on the right. As a student, the experience is similar. There are 7 new announcements, 2 new posts in discussions that I'm following, 15 new gradebook items, and 1 new message. And here I am using the achievements tool, which is very useful in gamification, for example, which basically consists in creating badges that students can earn by achieving or meeting certain objectives or achieving certain goals. So, for example, if I am a student, I want to check out the gradebook. There's a lot going on here. So click on it. And as you can see, everything that is recent will appear at the top. Okay, with a slightly darker background color, so it's highlighted, and a huge purple dot on the left, so it's very hard to miss. No, and I can tell, okay, what's new, what's going on, what needs my attention directly from the course content page. Status, grade, due date, and the results. So I need to click here in order to view my grades, any feedback my instructor has given me, etc. All information I need is right here. Here's my current grade, and if I click on it as a student, okay, it even shows me, okay, gives me a breakdown of how the grade is being calculated. So as you can see, to any user, instructor, or student, information is readily available everywhere. So I'm going to go back to the course content page, week 1. Here I have the sample assignment. Oh, but I had already submitted. One attempt left. Okay. View instructions. I can upload a file from my computer or from a cloud storage service like Google Drive or OneDrive or Dropbox. Okay, so that's integrated as well. And this is a brand new feature, actually, which was added recently. The ability to select the source here. Or if it's on your device, simply drag and drop. And so I'm going to upload a file. It will open your file browser. And let me find something that we can use to simulate that. Oh, there's something on the chat. Oh, we'll talk about that in a moment, Alex. Thanks for your question. All right. So, okay, I have a PDF file here. Yes? Oh, I
Oh,
thought.
nothing. I thought your mic wasn't working for a second. So
Mhm. Okay, what happened here? Um, okay, it's saving it. Oh, it's right here. Sorry. Okay, here I made a mistake. I forgot to scroll down and I didn't see it. So here's the list. As you can see, students can submit multiple files at once. So since I have two of the same, I can simply delete one. The trash can icon allows me to do that. And now I am ready to submit. Students will get a submission confirmation with a unique receipt or confirmation number for each submission. They can download it as a text file, or they can also, but they don't have to because they'll get it as an email as well. All right, so no attempts left. I can exit. Normally, you probably want to discard any information, any data generated by your preview student, but for this demo, I'll save it. Let me, as you can see, now as an instructor, next to gradebook, I see a number. It means that there is one element that needs my attention. And this is the gradebook. You want to check the overview. And here it shows me how many elements need grading. In this case, I have an assignment. And okay, there is one new submission. Just click on it. All right. So just one student, I can preview the document here. If you have been using Learn Original, you will be happy to notice that this is the exact same tool that you use for inline grading, okay, in original. Here you can detach the rubric so it goes full screen. And then if you want to grade, you can simply select, okay, the correct level for each criterion. If you want to provide specific feedback for criterion within the rubric, then all you need to do is click here where it says criteria feedback and enter it here. Once you're ready, don't forget to save. Now you can close. All right. And remember, in Ultra, whenever you want to leave the place where you are, just look for the X on the left at the top, and it'll take you back. And now, instead of a number, you see an exclamation mark. It means nothing needs grading, but some grades need posting. Posting a grade means making it visible to the students and available to the system. So I post it here, and now my students can see it. All right, let's go to the grades view of the gradebook. So students can be sorted. As you can see, this is the official or original order, ascending or descending. Okay. And as you said, Alex, okay, they are sorted by first name here. And it would be nice to have an option. I totally get what you're saying, to have an option to change that. It wouldn't hurt to go to the ID exchange page and see if it's been requested, so that you can vote for it, and if it hasn't been requested, then you can request it yourself and try to get other people to vote for it. But right now, okay, they're arranged by first name, as you can see here. There was something else on the screen. You see when it was submitted, but not the due date. Having due date here would be convenient. Oh, if you go to the gradable items view here, because remember, you have the overview. When you have multiple elements here that need grading or the grades that need posting, they will be arranged in chronological order, always showing you the oldest first. It supports, it'll show you up to 5 elements at a time. If you have more elements that need your attention, then you get a little menu that allows you to navigate back and forth. But if you go to gradable items view, okay, here you have the item and you can arrange them with just one click. This is not permanent. This moving things around here, okay, is temporary. When you leave this page and come back, they will go back to the original position. If here you have the category, here you have the due date, and here you have the grading status, and whether any grades need posting. Now, if any element is past due, and not everybody has submitted, even if it's just one student, the icon will turn red, and in red, it'll tell you how many students have not submitted. So here you have if you go to gradable items, you can see anything in red means that, okay, the due date came and passed, and there's still here 1 student is missing, here 4, here 5. So regardless of the number, this will turn red to show you, okay, what's going on. Now, remember, this is the overview, tells you if anything needs grading. It'll in the list, it'll show you the oldest ungraded element first. You don't have to go on that order or in that order, though, okay? Gradable items, you can rearrange elements here, and here you have the due date. And if it's red, then, okay, it means that people have not submitted. Now, it always tells you how many people have submitted so far. So if you click on the three dots, the ellipses, remember additional options. If you see that, okay, students still have 2 more days to submit, but not many people have done it. If you come to the gradable items view of the gradebook and click on the three dots, the very first option is send reminder. Students will get, anybody who has not submitted yet will automatically get a message and or email, depending on how this has been configured, reminding them, okay, that they still have not submitted this and what the due date is. Okay, let me see if there's anything else about the gradebook. I can always go back and forth, okay, to anything that you need to know. And then you have the grades view, which is has a more traditional look and feel. And from here, if you have many students, a large class, or if you have many gradable items, then you can use a filter. You can filter by student, by group, by gradable item, specific gradable item, by assessment type, and there are 3 types of assessment. These are labels, okay? Formative, summative, and key assessments. So if you create a test and you, in the settings, check the formative checkbox, it's not going to be removed from the calculation. You can do that on the gradebook. However, okay, it will allow you to use this as a filter, and it will also let the student know that this is a formative assessment. Summative and key assessments. You have the different grade categories as well. So let's say I want to see presentations only. Okay, those are my 5 presentations in this course. So I can see who has not submitted, who got an automatic 0, etc. All right. Now, if you want to provide your students with a bit more flexibility, then from the grades view of the gradebook, all you need to do is, okay, let's say, okay, George could not take or deliver the presentation, so he got an automatic 0. However, he was justified because he was, I don't know, maybe representing the institution at an event or something. Okay, you can, click on it and add or edit exemptions. And now he will not be penalized. Okay, he is exempt from this presentation. Or let's say here, now you have an assignment. Paul did not submit. You can add not just an exemption, but an exception. The exception allows you to provide a student with an extended due date and time. Also, you can extend their access to this assignment or even give them additional attempts. And when you save your changes, this icon that looks like a clock, okay, is what indicates that they got this exception. This is for one individual element. However, if we go to the roster, you may have noticed that Ringo and John have this purple ribbon next to their names. That means that they have been given accommodations. And there are 2 types of accommodations. As always, if you want to see what options are available, click on the 3 dots, access accommodations, due date accommodation. Students with a due date accommodation will never have their work marked late. And, however, for group assignments, this accommodation applies to all participant members of the group. Okay, for that specific assignment or group discussion. And then you have time limit accommodation. Now they're independent from each other. You can grant them both. Students with a time limit accommodation have more time to finish their work during timed assessments. Could be unlimited or could be a custom percentage, like in this case, an additional 15%. Okay. And this applies to everything in your course. In original, you had to set this for each individual element. Here, you can say from the beginning of the course until for like the first 7 weeks, you can give someone an accommodation, and then if they no longer need it, then you can remove it. It will not affect any previous effects of accommodations, but from that moment on, they will no longer have that. So, okay, you can grant accommodations and then remove the accommodations at any time. And that applies to everything in the course. Not, you don't have to do it one by one. Also, and regarding speaking of due dates, if you or your students go to the course calendar, every time you create something with a due date, it will be added to the course calendar. You have a day view. It shows you day by day within the current week what's going on. You have a month view, which I prefer because I'm more visual. Here, peer review, this is due. Here, presentation 5 is due on Saturday. But I also have a due dates view. And as you can see, okay, it will show me all the due dates in my course. The same views are available to students. Okay. Also, okay, remember information, if you see a number here, then okay, that's what you need to know about your students. However, if you want to know even more about your students, all you need to do is click on Analytics. It will first take you to this page. Here you can see the overall grade, the number of missed due dates, how many hours they have spent in the course, and how many days have passed since their last access. These flags are alerts that were triggered based on the parameters that I entered. To do that, okay, from the course activity page within the analytics page, all you need to do is click up here on the right on alert settings. If you leave the fields empty, the alerts will not show. Okay, so you do want to enter corresponding number here. Overall grade, below or equal. Let's say that on this course, 75 is the minimum passing score. Let's imagine. So it makes sense to enter a 74 here. Number of missed due dates, above or equal. I like to keep this one short, personally. This is non-consecutive, okay? So if they missed 3 due dates or more, it may be even different weeks, etc., an alert will be triggered. And days since last access, above or equal. This will depend on how often your students are expected to access your course. And then this is on by default. Students will get activity stream notifications based on low overall grade and days since last access. And if you have a large class and you want to see only who has alerts, then you can use a filter. Students with alerts only. Or students without alerts, or all students. Now, if you want to know even more about your students, all you need to do is click on their name. So here you can see their grades. And I like this. One of the features I like best from this page is that if you have given them, okay, once you have graded a test, an assignment, a graded discussion, a graded journal, etc., and you have given them feedback, you can tell whether they have actually reviewed their grade and your feedback or not. Okay, so there's very useful information everywhere, just one or two clicks away. So if you see that someone is not getting very good grades, you go to, well, let me show you again how to get here, analytics, and then click on the student's name. Say, okay, so this person is not reviewing a lot of the feedback and grades that I have given them. So maybe it would be a good idea to send them a message, which you can do directly from here. If you're on Ringo Starr's page, click on send a message. It'll be sent to him, as you can see here. You also, if you have enabled, or your institution may have done it for you, the progress tracking feature, which is very useful, you can also see what your students are up to. An empty circle means that they have not even opened that item. A half full circle means that it's been started and it tells you when and what time. And a green check mark within a green circle means that it's been completed. So you can see exactly where they are in terms of each element within your course. Also, here on the students page, you have an internal notes section, which is for your eyes only. Students do not have access to this element. Okay, so if you want to take notes, as a quick reminder of some feedback or resources you want to share with them, etc., this is where you can keep that perfectly safe. Also, you have the activity log. Let me change to another student with more activity here. Okay, it's analytics. My preview student. If I go to the activity log, I can see every single thing the student has done in my course. If I click here, go to the filter by event, it records course access, announcements being read, assessments being started, assessment drafts being saved, assessment submissions, auto submissions, draft savings, saved in discussions, replies, responses, discussion access, document access, journal access, link access, and so forth. So pretty much everything and anything they can do in your course will be recorded here. And if it is a test or an assignment, okay, it will even give you an attempt log. In this case, it's an assignment. It tells you when it was first opened and when it was submitted. If it were a test, however, it will give you the detail of in which order they answered the questions and how long they took to answer each question and so forth. Okay. So remember, that's another one of the main differences and key features of Ultra, and in contrast with Original, that it gives you very powerful analytics about your students. First, as a whole class, and then if you click on an individual, okay, a lot of detail, including whether they have been reviewing your feedback and their grades or not. And then on the right, you have the student activity page. And it shows you per day how many hours they have spent in the course and how their grades have been, okay, evolving or not. In this case, not very well, as you can see. Well, in gray, you see the average for the class, and in purple, you see the current student. Let's switch to another student here. Just a second. let's go to, okay, Ringo, student activity. Okay, so here, you don't see the numbers here because since I use this course and this demo student several times, sometimes I reset things, but okay, it'll give you an idea of how it evolves. You would see the average grade for each date here. As you can see here, Ringo has been consistently outperforming his classmates here. Just a second. Want to make sure that I do not miss anything. Oh, and also, if you want to have a panoramic view of everything in your course, in your courses, then let's leave the course briefly. Click on the little home icon here. All right, so if you want to see what grades, what assessments need your attention, you can click on grades. And your courses, ultra courses are color coded, so you can tell if it's blue, well, you know it's from ancient Egypt, and if it's this color, which not sure exactly what you call it. It's from BU. This is Boston University sample. Uh, Green is this critical thinking master course, and so forth. And if anything needs your attention, well, here you have nothing to grade, nothing to, 1 to grade, 8 to grade, so forth. You also have a global messages tool. If you see the dot, you have unread messages. The number indicates the number. Ulacit, they are from Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. So I say, oh, okay, I have 3 unread messages here. I click on it, takes me directly, okay, directly to those unread messages here. And you have a global calendar, again, color coded. Okay, so you can easily tell what corresponds to which course. And then you have the activity stream. And here you have any unread announcements, course activity, 3 new messages, 7 alerts, 10 unread messages, 4 students with alerts, 2 items to grade. So whatever appears here is what needs doing, as you can see, okay? Whether alerts have been generated, whether you have items to grade, whether you have grades to post, etc. So from here, okay, it is very easy to stay on top of things. And well, here I have way too many courses. Well, part of my job, I have different types of demos here. Let's go back to my sample course. So, what are the main differences between Ultra and Original? The first one is the interface and the design. Now, this is a very traditional link and folder-based type of navigation. It does allow you to customize the menus, which is good. However, that ability may sometimes make it more complex to navigate the course, since the user experience is not necessarily going to be consistent across courses. In Learn Ultra, okay, there is a standard menu structure. And as you can see, it is very easy to tell, okay, whether anything needs your attention. You have the main course menu right up here on the left. You have the details and actions menu right here on the right. Okay, and notifications are easy to spot. 3 new announcements, 3 new messages, nothing new in discussions, no grades, need my attention, nothing for my groups, etc. All right. And there are certain things that you may be able to configure on course settings. But what options are available here will depend on your institution, of course, okay, and what your admin has configured. Another difference is that the interface is completely responsive, okay, and designed to be fully compatible with navigation on mobile devices. Content, another difference is that unlike this one where you have links, okay, and well, content is placed in found in different places. Here, everything will be located directly on the course content page. So this makes it easier to find things and allows for, again, a more consistent experience, navigation experience for users. In terms of content creation, it is very easy, okay, in Ultra. You just click on, oh, by the way, when you want to create a new element, simply go to the place, open the container, in this case a module, go to the place where you want the element to be placed. In this case here, it'll turn purple. Click on create. Just give me a second here. Just a moment, please. Okay. You have course content items, assessment instruments, participation and engagement tools. Ultra document, the equivalent of an original learn original item. You can create content, embed HTML code, create knowledge checks, which are basically formative multiple choice questions for students, upload files, upload from your device or from cloud, access a content collection, insert images, embed audio or video, divide, which means add page breaks, or even convert a file. If you have a PDF, then you can convert it into an Ultra document and you will automatically and immediately improve the accessibility to 100%. So let me show you real quick. So I want to add content. I'll paste it here. I'm using some dummy text, which was randomly generated. Then I want to add an image, problem, an image here. In this case, I'm going to use an image from Unsplash, which is a free repository. It's available, comes with Ultra. Here, let's say Egypt. Okay. A little over 2,400 options. Okay, let's use this one. I can add a caption. I can limit what students can do. In this case, I want them to view only. Images from Unsplash come already with an alternative text description for people using assistive technologies. And now, if I want to resize things, notice that elements get this purple border when I hover over them, and these two elements on the side. Simply click here, drag, and drop. Now this one, same thing here. Now the 6 dots here, the landing place, to call it, that will turn lavender. So it's very easy to format your page. If you want to give something quick formatting, here you have the style options. Is this a question? Is this a tip? Are these key points? Are these next steps? So let's say key points. And let's turn this into a bulleted list, for example. Or maybe these are like next steps or anything that you need. Other key differences, just a second. Well, navigation, everything is listed on content page, content creation, very intuitive, drag and drop, as you can see here. Okay. Very straightforward. Yeah. Clear formatting allows you to send it back to previous item. Grading and assignments. Okay, the grade book is simplified quite a bit, even though it's very powerful. Oh, let's save this before leaving. Well, the grade book is very intuitive. I know it's different. So you need to take a little time to get used to it, but it's okay. Overview. Anything needs my attention? No. Gradable items. There are people who have not submitted. Grades. Well, more traditional panoramic. Students. Okay. And then if I click on a student from here, it also takes me to that, okay, page or site where I have absolutely everything about this student. Announcements pop up. Okay, so when you create an announcement, a new announcement, again, simply click on the plus sign. You can type your announcement here or record it as a video if you want. The video recording tool is also available for feedback, so you can do that as well. And then, okay, once we have something here, okay, you type a title. Now you can post it right away, save it as a draft, or schedule it. It's usually a good idea to also send it as an email, okay? So that just to make sure they get it. All right, we are about to run out of time. So do we have any additional question or comment? What do you think about Ultra? Do you find it user-friendly? Well, if there are no questions or comments. Oh, for responders, lockdown browser. I don't have it here, but I can show you if when you create a test and you go to settings here in the little gear icon. Okay, don't get slow. This is the last minute of it. Can you hear me all right? Because this is my connection is
Yeah, I
lost.
can hear you good.
It will appear here among the options. I don't have it on this instance because it's a third-party tool. Uh, Importing questions from Blackboard to Ultra, which is several content issues, including missing indentation, spacing errors, which significantly affect. Oh, I see. Well, that's I hadn't had that reported. I would need to look into it, but definitely should not be happening. Formatting should not affect. But okay, if you're talking about code writing, I see how that can affect. What I would do is probably create a ticket, maybe coordinate with Tara because that's not expected behavior.
Yeah, let us know if you're running into an issue. We can submit a ticket to Blackboard support if something's going on.
Well, I do need to go now. I have another meeting in a few seconds, but thank you very much. And well, I hope you found this